Yeah, hi guys. Quick look at a few things here. We're going to go over some the psychology of the yens collectively, and some trades we took last week in the room, um, and how they're making out now. And then we'll do some live charts. But we are doing quite well here. Um, Sorry I haven't made a video in a little while. As Mercury went into Taurus, I haven't particularly felt like communicating much, so I do apologize. Um, but that should be over soon. Um, we're going to look at the relationship between all the yen currencies, and that is really giving us the story. We can't do this with just one chart on its own. It will not give you the story of where we are going and why. Um, Now, one of the things that does in fact prove that is that we have to look at things collectively, is simply the police cars. Let's look at them now. If we look at a Washington, D.C. state police car, it's red and blue lights. Blue is for Cancer, the moon. Red is for Leo, the sun. They are playing God right there. As God, the ruler of the day is the sun, which brings life, and light. It's the light bringer, while the moon is the ruler of the night, which brings light and life in the night. Um, it's their relationship collectively that equals God, from a perspective that we shouldn't ignore. Um, so instead of it being a man with a grey hair and a beard, above the firmament, we would anticipate it to be the actual relationship between the sun and the moon, as the sun is male and the moon is feminine. And during an eclipse, we've already established that they are indeed mating, and the reflection on the ground of that is us having new babies. In an example of that was last year, the eclipse was during the Gemini time, so there's going to be a few more Geminis than usual, um, floating around as they grow up, over the next few years. We'll notice. Um, and that happens in the sky too, but they tell us it's an asteroid, a rock, when it's not. It's a new planet with new energies. Now, the state, the Washington D.C. will obviously be playing God by having blue and red, while the Arkansas will typically just have blue, as we already established. It's a Cancer state. They are about protecting the people and protecting their state and taking care of things. That's why their uniforms are always immaculate and their cars are always immaculate. Um, while if we take a look at the California, we already know that that's a Leo state. This one does have a red light on it though, which is interesting. Let's take a look at this guy. Is this a legit Arkansas one? Yeah, yeah. That's a nice one, I gotta tell you. But yeah, look at their uniforms. It's all they proudly wear their uniforms in Arkansas. Anyway, that's the relationship. They are serving, ultimately, God. That's what these people are doing. They're playing God, collectively, um, but mostly in Arkansas it's the moon. Whereas when we go to California, we know it's a Leo place. We're going to see red through the yin yang. Look, red and red. This guy, red, red. All you see is red. What's this? This is not a California one. This is Boston, blue, right? So probably an indication that Boston may be a Cancer state. For the most part, you're seeing red in the California ones, although they do have both. Obviously, they're going to have both because they're playing God collectively. However, they are on the favor of the sun side in California. We all know it's Hollywood. Hollywood is it's all about Leo and the sun. So that's the deal there, if that makes sense. Let's go through the relationship in the charts of what happened last week and how it worked out for us. And we'll do it this way. I'll try to read everything, or should we move it like this? Maybe let's move it like that, and then I'll read it. All right, psychology of the yen. This took 5 minutes. So we start looking here. We know that there were buyers up here. We know there were buyers here. We know there were buyers here. There's always going to be buyers and sellers. Okay. Same spot here. Buyers, buyers, buyers. So those buyers are now losing. Okay. The original sellers, which this red line was back there, I wrote here major sellers let off the hook. Okay, so these sellers still here, we don't see the red line, have got to be let off the hook. These guys here have the major weight is down currently. Okay, and the highest paying sellers were these guys at this time because this is the biggest move down, right? And these guys were the UJ, USD yen. And then the other chart, the pound and the euro, we're seeing the same deal here. The buyers are trapped. The sellers are now slowly seeing a profit. What I wrote here is we know the weight is down. However, that level needs to be reworked. That level I've where it says first sellers. Sorry, in the UJ. So let's go back to the UJ. Here, this level I'm referring to needs to be revisited. Okay. As the EJ here did in fact validate that by hitting the bottom of it, you see. So that's validated, and here in the pound, it's suggesting that USD may want to come back there, but that's just part of the story. We're not going all in on a USD yen buy just because of that. We just need to know that, and then we can continue with the story, basically, the relationship between them all. My trade will be UJ back up once we observe sellers hurting a little more. Market never goes in straight lines. Everybody is getting screwed over here. So that's what I wrote to one of the guys in the room. We've got needs a revisit, highest paying sellers. Remember this part is just technical garbage. Fill the traders and their wrong positions collectively will be revealed. Okay, Euro validated the revisit area. So now we're going to start from here on the 1 minute, since we know where we're at on that larger perspective, the 5 minute zoomed out a little bit. So we start right here, or we can go back an hour. We are trying to scale our chart here in time, and we will feel their emotions. So watch this. So that's what I wrote. We start here. So highest paying sellers were UJ. Our preferred choice is a buy. We're saying the LFX is probably going that way, / sideways to up. Local pound and EJ sellers in profit. So from that time after the so we got the line and we just put a red line at the low, knowing there were sellers. and now we see that they're both selling. So the weight of these two would be down, but collectively we have to check it against everything else, right? Back here, LFX is even. Back here, CAD is above the level, and dollar is above the level. Okay, so the sellers are wrong. The sellers are almost wrong, but kind of losing. I don't know, they're minus 10 pips or something. And here, well, you know, that reflects that and everything else. So they're selling, they're winning here. Or did I write anything? No. Okay. So local UJ and AJ sellers are losing from this point. AJ is here, so they're up. So those guys are thinking, oh, shoot, but the other ones are paying off these losses. So their emotions are kind of neutral at this point. They're okay. And here it tells us that, but a little bit up. Sellers start to feel shit about their trades. So that's now pound has come up. Euro, they're still profiting on. Try to fill them. I'll read it now. Try to fill them. Try to fill them. Read the story. That's the truth of how we can make this a business. We need to view the story collectively, though, or the story is incorrect. So that's what I wrote. Sellers starting to feel shitter about their trades. Shitter than before now because Euro is now above the level, while the rest of them are above the level. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I would only take UJ though, because we know it needs a revisit and it's already gone far down relative to the stronger ones on 5 minute. I'm talking about now for UJ trade, obviously. So some of these stronger ones can drop. So I won't buy the stronger ones, only the UJ, because we know UJ has come the most down and it has a place to go. So if we wanted to take the other ones, we need to look at the other indexes collectively, so the Euro, for instance. But we're cheating here, we're skipping that process. Let's look here quickly. We see now the emotions here. The UJ guys, the sellers are not happy. The sellers are not happy. The sellers in Aussie are not happy. In New Zealand, they're not happy. And they're not happy in the Swiss either. I don't know where the pound is here. I didn't post the next pound, but that's all right. We have two stronger ones. This will hold UJ. Doesn't mean that the strong ones will go up though. They can just hold while UJ rises. Right. Highest paying seller. So all of this is the story. We're putting this together. This is a strong currency, New Zealand, because it's not come down below that level anywhere near as much as UJ, right? But because it's down and all the rest of them are down, that's why the LFX, the yen index, is showing us it's lower, the LFX. All right. What else have we got here? This is the pound, so that pound and euro are it's not much has happened. They're kind of at break even. This pound one there, they're losing. So what I mean is it could do this, for example. It could come up to the revisit area and then down after that, because the major weight is still down. something like this maybe. So where are we now? Okay, sellers feeling even worse now. Um, Everything's now, and then what we've done is this is our line there where we started our new point in time earlier, and we're now here. We see that this is above the level, 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 this is below the level, giving us just a little bit above, which equals LFX weight is up. Hang on. Okay, so now euro and pound guys are feeling really bad. So the reflection of this will be LFX is above the level, giving us a LFX weight of up. So even though the moving averages and everything are down, this is telling us that retail have got short and are trapped. What's this one here? So old sellers now back at break even. So price came up here. Buyers were let off the hook. The original buyers. There were buyers obviously here. Now what's happened is the buyers are let off the hook, but then their sellers are also let off the hook, or they're at break even. But you don't want to read this on its own. You need to see all of them to give you this story. So let's do that. These buyers were let off the hook. These sellers are now back in almost in profit, but now they're losing, which would suggest that the LFX weight is up collectively from there to there. Same deal here. They never really let them off the hook, you see, the sellers, just the buyers. And the buyers have been let off quite significantly. Okay, they did see a profit in this one, and this one relative to this blue green line that we drew earlier. Old buyers still trapped. So here, the buyers were never let off the hook while the other ones were. But you can see it's like it doesn't go all together. It's like one currency shows a little strength, the next one has to show a little, the next one, and so on. And it's like it builds up like a slingshot. These sellers were now back in profit, but not for long. These sellers are back in profit and happy currently. The Aussie sellers are not in profit. They're not happy, but their buyers are not happy. But however, their buyers did show us a significant profit here. Yeah, and that's that. So that's the story there, which would give us an up LFX, and that's what we're seeing. See them wind out. This is how the accumulation is working, slowly thinning them out while keeping the others in the trades. EU short from last night met the target. Oh, okay, that was a different trade, which we were going to here, I suppose, right? That was a trade from the week before, so we won't talk about that. Okay, there are trades so far last week. We could go back actually and have a look here. Right, that was the week before. Yeah, so forget that. Where are we here now? This is the Euro index. Oh yeah, that was this trade. Okay, so we drew it to here to come back to here, and that's what's happened. But that's a different. We'll do a different. That's an old thing. Next. Okay, so at this point we're at with the yens 108. and we're still trying to get to 5 million. Okay, so here we finally got lift off, and we know it's coming here, so I wrote this. Okay, the weight is up. We see down on Aussie yen. Seller NZ sellers are in profit. Oh, that's another one. What's this? Where are we at here? Okay, so we've only got UJ left. We took an EJ and we took a UJ on this yen deal. The EJ was a different thing. We don't really have to, like I said, we're not going to talk about the Euro index in this. Now, where are we at here? The sellers are not happy right now. They're really not happy. These sellers are basically holding on for dear life, and so are these guys. They're just praying basically that nothing else goes. So these highly profitable sellers are now rapidly losing that dream. Here is the euro. I'll start updating the story later. Okay, forget the euro. All right, so we're almost there at the level, but I remind the people in the room of this. Topside validation on Swiss here. So at that time, the Swiss did further validation of that level, but on the top side. I know all this is technical, but that gives us maybe a little bit more room to suggest that dollar can indeed meet the target. Crypto weight is, oh, this is a crypto trade. Okay, for the weekend, guys, we did this. The 15-minute. Should we do this separately? Okay, we'll do it separately. Forget the crypto. But that's where we're trying to go on EOS. I haven't looked at that yet. So finally, we're here in the dollar yen on Sunday. So we had to hold over the weekend to get this last piece, but the reminder was here. Now, what's happened here is all these buyers from here have profited. Anyone that bought here has profited. However, the original buy levels were back here, and they're not fully in profit yet. So once they are fully in profit, then this thing's going to become another story. The circus continues. Guys, currently we are basically waiting on let's see here. We just want to see a few more legs on the 1 second pound. We need to see the pound. Once pound is above the level, then they're all in profit. Everyone was let off the hook, and then the cycle will continue. But from here, we're gonna start drawing it and make a new story again. Anyway, guys, we'll let's just quickly check how we're doing on the account. Once we are 159, what's this here? EOS. So do we? Should we just see where we're at? Okay, let's just quickly see where we're at. All right. So yeah, we've come down here. We're still expecting this to come to here. It's going to take a while, but yeah. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Sorry, a little scattered, but yeah, I figured it would be a good idea to show you how we're doing with our trades in the room. The more people that we have in the room working on the different time frames and different um, collective currency views, the better we will do. Um, so I'm only working on LFX and Euro at the moment, but it would be very helpful if we had other guys focusing on Aussie, New Zealand, etc. Because then we'll find more trades. Um, and we have to combine. It's like the sun and the moon. It's a relationship. We have to collectively do this rather than keeping it all for ourselves and being greedy, because that won't get us anywhere. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you later. Cheers.